It is Matt Barron here. Thank you for joining us tonight. I am excited to be doing another webinar with Frederick Drefeld from AEA Tools. He is going to show us some awesome stuff tonight. Just a little bit about me. I see some brand new people on the line here. Um, well, before we get started, just so I can know who's all out there tonight, if you could just type in the chat box where you guys are viewing from the webinar for tonight. Where are you coming from tonight? Bill is coming from Florida. Jim from New Mexico. Marty from Denver. Ricardo from the Netherlands. Very nice, man. Um, Rick, how you doing, Rick? Good to see you, man. Appreciate you showing up. Home of the national football champs, Ohio State. Don, we'll see about that, even though you guys are ranked #1 right now. Um, anyway, okay, so just if you guys, I see some brand new names on here that I don't know. So if you guys don't know me, or if you haven't heard of me before, just let me give you the brief introduction to myself. I'm the Chief Traffic Officer for EMP. So I run all the traffic, the Facebook, PPV traffic, banner ads, solo ads, Bing ads, all the paid stuff that we do. I am the one responsible for all of that stuff and overseeing all the traffic that goes out and all the people that do run that traffic for us as well. I'm also the creator of Lead Thief, the PPV course that a lot of you have at least heard of. Some of you I know out there have bought. And I did that because I'm a PPV specialist. I created the course as a way to teach other people how to do mostly list building with PPV, because it was something I saw that was very effective, as well as, just because the leads would get a lot cheaper than Facebook, and also there was a lot more leniency as far as what kind of ads you could run on Facebook. So, and again, we've really been targeting, especially EMP, we've really been advocating the use of PPV. For a couple of reasons. Targeted leads, they also let you run pretty much anything you want, including the BizOp and MMO offers if you're an Elite Marketing Pro, or if you're in Empower Network, MOB, what may have you. You guys probably know that the Facebook, Google, they're not too keen on those kinds of landing pages and that kind of language and ads. So you can get a bit limited under what you can advertise and how you can advertise on those platforms, and that's why I really like PPV, because there's virtually no restrictions in doing it. However, in the last year, especially since we saw the release of my course, Lead Thief 2.0, as well as other courses out there by other people in the home business industry, specifically other people in other companies like MOB, or I think Big Idea Mastermind, with their high-end traffic courses. They've also been finding people that have been doing PPV as well. So there's been a lot more competition in there, which means that you're finding higher prices per impression, and if you're only doing the bare minimum when it comes to putting the URLs in your campaign, I'm seeing some success, but there's a lot more out there. There's a lot more ways to get URLs than just scraping Google, and also it's very difficult to scale PPV if you're doing the scraping by hand, because it just takes a long time. And one of the ways that we've been able to kind of get around that, or I should say one of the solutions we've come up with, is we've found a way to give you guys a competitive advantage by partnering up with a couple guys, Michael and Frederick at AEA Tools. And basically, if you guys had been on the webinar before, you know AEA Tools, and you've heard Frederick speak before, but just a little bit of background behind that. AEA Tools, it's essentially stands for Affiliate Expert Academy Tools, and it's a set of scrapers, keyword tools, spy tools, landing page builders. I mean, just about everything you could think of that would hunt down just about any URL or keyword that you could want. And when I say scrapers, I'm talking about the ability to be able to scrape Google in a matter of just seconds based on your keyword versus doing it all by hand that takes you hours. Or having about 10 different scrapers where the results are based on not just Google results, but also things like keywords in a particular website, how close those matches are. So you can really start to find those URLs that a lot of people haven't advertised on before, and that they're very targeted and they're being underutilized. Um, these guys, they've made a lot of revisions lately to AEA Tools, and essentially this past year they came to Fernie and myself and said, hey, you guys have a lot of people doing PPV. Um, we've got some awesome tools. Let's see if we can help this community out. And we took a look at them and like, wow, this will really give our members a competitive advantage. And from what we've seen so far, especially since we introduced this at No Excuses 6, those that have been using the AEA tools have gotten a lot of success. You'll know, like, for example, one I think off the top of my head, and I know don't think she's on here tonight, but Penny Kelly um, is absolutely killing it with PPV right now, and she's actually finding that the more people that use, or the more, she runs both PPV and Facebook traffic, she's finding that she's actually getting more upgrades and better quality customers on PPV after using AEA tools because she's able to get those highly targeted customers at a very low cost. And which just blew me away when she was looking at her EMP VIP upgrades and saying the majority of them actually came from PPV, which I thought is just absolutely awesome. So again, it really helps you to be able to find those targeted URLs that a lot of people aren't using right now. So with that said, I do want to welcome my friend here and owner of AEA Tools, Frederick Dreyfeld. How you doing, Fred?
Hey Matt, I'm doing good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir. You are coming in pretty well.
Fantastic.
Hopefully we have hopefully stays that way. We don't have any technical difficulties.
Yeah. Well, as you talked about before, I actually use my phone for this webinar just to make sure there are no interruptions when we're gonna dig into to all the different tools. So I'm have faith that it's gonna go pretty smoothly. Um,
Perfect.
And just quickly making sure that everyone else out there can hear me as well. If people in the chat just can give us a quick eye that I'm going loud and clear through here. Let me see. All right. Okay, perfect. Very good. All right, Matt, should I just dig in?
Yeah, man. Just go for it.
All right, sounds good. All right, well, thanks everyone for being on the webinar. I hope everyone have had a fantastic summer and still have a good summer. It's still going strong. And as Matt said, we've been working with Matt and the NES guys for a while now. And, it's great to see when people come in using our tools and they come out with great success. So for those people that are on here tonight are going to see the replay, I want to introduce you guys to a simple way of how you can utilize our tool sets, because we do have a lot of tools in here, a lot of ways you can do keyword research and scrapers, and you can even do landing pages and all different kind of stuff. So instead of getting overwhelmed when you come in, I'm going to give you a simple blueprint, which basically going to save you a lot of time and just make you much more efficient than you probably are today when you're doing your research for your PPV campaigns. Before I'm going to dig in, just a quick introduction about myself. I'm originally from Denmark, Copenhagen, came to US about 6 years ago. I've been working online for plus 10 years. In the past 6 years, I've been working with my team on building our affiliate network called NAM Offers. And it was specific through NAM Offers we started working with a lot of affiliates in over 30 countries all over the world. And we started to learn the ins and outs on what was working for people and really what people were struggling with online as well. And then a couple of years ago, we met a great guy called Corey Borman, like a software developer and internet marketer himself, that already built a couple of tools that we could see we could use for ourselves and our affiliates. And after a while, we decided to go in and work together and simply just expand the tools based on what we saw our affiliates was looking for when they're doing research for their campaigns. And a couple of years later, we got the AEA Tools, and today we do have, I think, more than 25 different tool sets, and we have we use more than 4 paid data sources, where SEMrush and SimilarWeb are a few of them. Of course, we also take all the data from Google, Bing, and all the major search engines out there. So a lot of the stuff you find in AEA Tools is compiled for some of the biggest search engines out there. I can see that I'm cutting out a little bit. Matt, am I going through with you?
I think you're coming fine. I know, Adam, it might be on your end. If anybody else is hearing Fred cutting out, let me know.
Okay.
Yeah, Rick says everything's fine. Adam, the problem. Okay, cool.
All right.
You're good.
Cool. All right, cool. All right, so Matt, you mentioned a little bit before. I just want to hear how many of the people that are online here today are using any type of scrapers today, or how many are even using just the good old-fashioned manual way of going on Google and typing in your main keyword and then start scraping the URLs that pop up. All right, so we got a few using different scrapers. All right, cool. We got a few others using the good old manual way. All right, perfect. Good stuff. So you guys are definitely in for a treat. And of course, if you have any questions, just put them in the question field, and then we're gonna do a Q&A in the end. All right. So when you come in here, what you're basically gonna see is a dashboard, right? And what we did recently is we made the dashboard a little bit differently. So you can go in and you can get a compiled overview of several of our keywords for one dashboard based on just typing in one URL or one keyword over here and one keyword over here. And then it's just going to give you a little bit bits and pieces of each tool we have, just so you can quickly get an insight and say, hey, is this URL or keyword one that I want to go forward with? I'm not going to go ahead and do that right now. I just want to show you guys how you can go and do that. The next up here, if you scroll down, we have put up 2 options for people. Basically give you a quick little fast track on how you can use some of our tools. You can go in here and say, hey, I want to scrape PPV targets, or I want to do keyword research. So basically what you're just going to do is to click on this, and then we have a very basic flow chart here where you can click, and then it's going to lead into each of the tools. So you can just say, hey, I want to go in and scrape organic URLs. Well, then we have 2 tools here that can do that. You want to go ahead and do some competitor analysis online. Well, then we have 4 tools here that can go in and do that, right? So just to give you guys an idea on how, which flow you can use our different tools at. But today, I want to do something different. I want to give you guys the blueprint that I'm using personally as well, and that our affiliates are using as well with a lot of success. So just make sure you have your pen and paper with you and make some notes, right? It's always good just to have a little bit notes so you have to rewatch full-on webinar every time. So the first we want to go in and do when we run PPV is we want to basically go after the advertisers that are already spending money today on driving ads, driving traffic to their website, right? Because that means when we find advertisers or URLs that are sending traffic to their website, it just means that we can basically tap into their paid traffic on our PPV campaign. So one of the ways we're going to do that is by using a tool called the Paid Search Scraper. And with the Paid Search Scraper here, basically what it does, it's going to go in and then it's going to scrape the first 100 advertisers that shows up on Google AdWords, basically meaning the people that are paying for ads on Google. It's going to list a bunch of URLs based on the main keyword that we're going after. So let's say in whatever business you're in, if you're in diet, well then you're going to say, okay, diet is a very broad term. Of course, you want to go in and figure out what is your main target within diet. You know, what type of keywords is it that your prospects are searching on Google? Then you want to type in that keyword into this search field right here. But just for the sake of this demo, I know Matt, he was mentioning a couple of other, network marketing companies and MLM. So we're just going to use the MLM as an example, just to make it simple. Of course, you can use whatever business, whatever market, whatever niche you're in. There's really no boundaries to what you can search for. But in this case here, we're just going to type in our keyword, and we're going to click search. And then you can see within a couple seconds, the system basically just going to scrape all the URLs, all the advertisers that have or are promoting, spending money today on Google, right? So down here is going to show us full list of advertisers. So basically what we can do over here, if you look on the right side, right, you can see last seen. And that means it's going to go in and see, okay, so when has this URL last been seen on Google? Well, this URL has last been seen July 27th, and today we have August 4th. So that's about like a week ago, maybe a little bit more, right? So you can see these URLs are very fresh. We have another one here that's a little bit older. Then we got a couple of ones down here that are getting older, and so on and so on. But this basically just shows you that you can go in and then you can tap quickly into a bunch of advertisers URLs that are paying money today or have been paying money the past couple of weeks or past couple of months. You're going to get some fresh URLs that are very relevant to the market that you are about to jump into. Okay, so let's say if you want to go in, yeah.
Oh no, I was gonna say, and you can't get these by doing them by hand either, right?
Well, it's going to take a while.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's like, yeah, I mean, that's my point. You can imagine how long it takes to scrape URLs from just the regular Google search results. You go through pages and pages of, advertisers, just scraping them at a time where here you could just literally get them all at once, export them to an Excel document, and put them in your PPV campaign.
Right, exactly. It would take way too long, and I mean, people doing that, and that's fine. But we really want to work a little bit smart and save time, so we can focusing on optimizing our campaign instead of spending too much time on finding all these targets. So just to show you guys how it really works, is let's say for the matter of you want all these targets, you basically just go up here. You can either go out here and click them like that, right? Or you can just say check all, right? And then after that, you can just say download checked. I'm going to do like this here, and then in the corner, it should show up, which it didn't. Let's try it now. All right, there we go. All right, so you can see down here, it's going to show up. We're going to click on it, and we're just going to open up. And here we do have all the URLs served to us very easily. And if you notice, a lot of the URLs, they do have the HTTP // in front and www. We actually remove that for you guys, so you don't even need to remove that when you upload into PPV campaign. So you can just, with a couple of clicks, find a bunch of quick URLs that are very targeted to a campaign and upload them directly into your PPV platform. So I mean, this tool here, I love this tool because you can tap into a lot of other people's advertising budget, and where you're basically just spending a couple to put your ads in front of them, right? Okay, cool. Also, just another quick thing I didn't get to say before is, for those that's going to stay around, we do have a special offer for you guys here in the end, right? And of course, come up with something good for you guys. So make sure you're going to stay around, and if you like what you see here, you can basically come in and test this out for a good deal. So anyway, if we kind of look into our next tool here, and the first one here is basically the paid search scraper. The next one we want to jump into is what we call the organic competition, because while we also want to focusing on the advertisers that are paying money, that are spending money on traffic today, we also want to look into and see, okay, which advertisers have actually been able to do really good SEO and place their sites on page one and maybe a little bit of page too, right? Because those sites are getting a lot of good traffic as well we can tap into. And one of the ways we can do that is the organic competition. So here's one thing that you should keep in mind. What you want to go and do is, for the advertiser, the URLs you found in the paid search scraper, right? All the ones that you find to be very targeted to your market, you want to take those and then you plug those into the organic competition. So the idea with this blueprint is the target we find in each tool, we're going to use those targets in the next tools that you're going to use. So you can kind of like keep digging and digging and digging in all these different tools just based on the couple of targets you found in the first tool set, right?
Yeah, I want to make sure you guys understand what he's saying and like the endless possibilities that are available by doing this, because you're not just taking, a set of 20 keywords or 10 URLs that you have in mind. I mean, with each search you're doing, with each result you're finding, you're getting more and more possibilities for more stuff you can find and dig for really quickly, I might add. So I think just the possibilities of everything you can find with some of this stuff is pretty incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for that, Matt. So yeah, so for example, if you just go back to the paid search scraper here and you look at some of our targets, the MLM is what we're looking for. We're looking for people that are within this business that we want to drive traffic to our lander. So one of the advertisers found that showed up here recently is the buy MLM leads, right? So you want to go in and see what other competitors out there on the market that are related to this URL that we found to be super relevant for our target audience. And one thing that is very cool with this organic competition tool scraper, it's actually more accurate than the Google search. And the reason for that is because of a big algorithm, but it takes several factors into play, and where it's then matching the keywords and text from several search engines and compile everything into one big database, and then based on that, it's going to show you guys the results. So when you have identified a website on the past tool I showed you, you can guarantee, guarantee is a big word, but you can definitely find a lot of very targeted URLs based on the one you put up here. So let's just try it out, right? So we put in the buy MML here, and then we go in and we search. And basically what it did here, it found 72 URLs just with a split second here. And what's also cool is you can go in a lot of different other countries as well. It's not only in the U.S. You can go in the United Kingdom, you can go in Hong Kong and in Finland and all these different things. And what's really cool as well, I don't want to get too technical, but is we're using local proxies, right? Because if, for example, if you go in U.S. and then you search for a product in U.S. and then you go overseas and search for the same thing, well then the result is very different, right? So we want to make sure that we're seeing the right result based on what nation we're in, and to do that, we've actually got access to local proxies throughout the world, so our results are very accurate compared to what else you find out there. All right, let's see here. Okay. All right, so based on our buymlmleads.com, we can go down here, and then basically what we want to look for is we want to look for the organic traffic out here, right? So we can always click to sort them based on who are receiving the most organic traffic, because the ones that are receiving the most organic traffic is also the one you're going to get the most traffic on your PPV platform. Of course, and Matt, I'm sure you can come in and tell a bit more about that. Often also seen even like websites that don't have that much organic traffic are still getting you a couple of impressions here and there, but because of that URL that you're using is so targeted, sometimes you just need one impression to get a lead. So even though you get 10 impressions, you get 10 leads throughout a month or throughout a week.
Yeah, I've got a campaign right now where the URL maximum-leverage.com is only getting me about 5 impressions per day. However, 3 of those 5 impressions are resulting in leads. So, you know what? I'll take that and pay 3 cents per impression and take the 3 leads for 9 cents each every
Oh,
day.
heck
So,
yeah. I would do that all day long.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. What's really cool is, as you can see here, is you got everything under one roof, right? You don't need to go out anywhere else. You can just go in here, and then you can basically just go in and you can get all the different URLs lined up here. Obviously, we do have a lot of really big websites out there, right? That you say, hey, the Wikipedia.org has a lot of very common keywords to what we're looking for, but obviously, we don't want to go in and just target towards that or even target towards Facebook. If so, you got to have a very big wallet, and you don't want to do that. So you want to go in and you want to do some digging here, and you want to go and see, okay, which of these would be relevant? MLM, thetruth.com, JasonLeeG.com, I don't know that person, online ML community, ML watchdog, and so on, so on, so on, op seekers, and the list goes on, right? So again, here we can just go in and add another 20, 30, 50 URLs just based on one URL we have up here, right? So that's just one URL. So what I want you to just have in mind here, and I'm going to let this window be open right here because we're going to get back to it here in just a second, is on the right side you can see the AdWord keywords, right? So you can go in and see, oh, okay, so the ones that are what are numbers showing, that means that these domains here are or have been active on Google AdWords, right? They are have been active on Google AdWords. And that means that these websites here have been paying Google to drive traffic into the website. Now, what does that mean? It means one is we know that we can probably find them up in the paid search scraper, right? But it also means that we can actually go in and we can figure out the exact keyword that this website was using for their AdWords campaign, right? So what that means is if you can identify one of these websites here to be a perfect match for your audience, well, you want to see, okay, if this website is the perfect match, that means that the users, the audience of that website, those are the specific audience you want to tap into, right? And we also can see now which keywords they use to find that audience, right? So now we can take those keywords and we can dig even deeper. I'm going to get into that just here in a second, okay? All right. Okay, so everybody still with us out there? It's good stuff.
We are still here.
That's good. That's good.
Yep, we're good.
Yeah. All right, perfect. Okay. All right. So let me see here. So we're just going to leave this open, right? Okay, cool. Now, the past two, this tool and the other tool, these two tools is focused towards scraping URLs. So we have one more tool I want to show you. We do have a bunch of other tool scrapers in here that you can play around with. I just don't want to, I'm not going to jump into that right now, but if you choose to go in and test this out, do go in and play around with all these tools, or you can reach out to support, and we're here to help you guys to explain if there's something that you don't understand, you need further explanation with, or so on. Okay. All righty. Cool. All right, so the last one here, just want to quickly show you guys, is the similar website, right? And the similar website is basically what it does. It's going to go in and analyze other websites based on the traffic, the geographic, the keywords, the content, a lot of different factors. And then it's going to go in and show a similarity score. The higher that similarity score is towards 1, the factor 1, the more relevant is that website to the main website we're going to put in here, right? So again, if you go back to our buy MLM leads, as we identify to be the most targeted ones to our market right now, we want to see, okay, what is else out there that are similar to this website here, okay? So again, we just quickly click, and then it pops up after like a split second here. It's showing us 20 URLs. So our job right now is just going to see, okay, so on the similarity score we have right here, which one are closest to 1? Okay, we got one saying 0.99950. I'm pretty sure we can agree that this site here, just based on the similarity score, is quite relevant. Do also keep in mind that some websites, sometimes when you click on it, maybe the website has been pulled down. Hang on here. Maybe the website is not existing anymore. And then you would say, hey, so why is it still showing? Well, that's because it's showing based on some earlier data it taps into, and based on that, it's going to show up. So, so if a website is alive, well, then it's going to go in and calculate it based on that, right? So you can go in here and just find a whole list of further URLs. You can go in and say, here we have the Fresh Lead USA, the leadlist.com, and so on and so on. What you also can do is you can just click on the right side here and say, get similar website. That means we're going to dig into this one here, and based on this, we want to see, okay, what other websites out there that are similar to this URL, because the tool here just told us that this URL here are extremely relevant to our main URL that we have up here. You follow me? Okay. So now we can click on this, and then we're going to see, okay, now we do have a couple of other URLs that pops up. Well, the similarity score is not as high, but it's still there, right? So you can see, okay, mlmleads.com. If this didn't show up on any of our other searches, well, then you just found another URL. And funny enough, this one down here actually shows this is the main URL, and it's kind of interesting. It's showing a low score right there.
Yeah, that's pretty highly targeted, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
This is one of my favorite tools out of everything that you guys have, and this is the one I like the most because these are results you can't get from Google. It's a whole new way of searching for URLs, and people might say, oh, yeah, well, Google's the best. Well, yeah, I mean, Google can be relevant, but the thing is everybody's using Google, and this gives you a whole new set of URLs that, a lot of them get traffic. They're very highly targeted, and quite frankly, they're going to have a lot less competition than the stuff you're scraping from Google.
Yeah, exactly. As Rick just mentioned also here, Paul, is at the same time you're basically just researching and digging even deeper into targeted research. So you already find that one target is one URL is targeted. Now you're just going to dig deeper into that targeted research you just did, right? So as we saw here, we have the MLM leads, and you can see now we just got a bunch of other URLs popping up here. Now we have even more that are even more relevant, have a closer score to one as the one we saw before. So this is one of my favorite tools as well, Matt, because as you just say, you're not able to find this kind of research on Google, for example. It's extremely powerful, and it takes seconds to dig. I can keep clicking on here and keep clicking, and I could keep getting more and more and more. Right? You guys get the point. All right. Cool. Okay. So guys, so that was the first 3 tools of the blueprint that I'm personally using here at the AEA Tools for all our PPV campaigns, and it works every time. Of course, we also go in and use a couple other tools, but you can always go in and play around yourself. All right. Okay. So so how many on the webinar here tonight are also using, and then maybe you can come out here and just elaborate on using keywords as well, because I know the majority when you go into PPV, you're going to start out with URLs as that's the most targeted. So I just want to hear your perspective of using keywords on PPV, and even just here for the audience out there, how many of you guys are using keywords for your PPV campaigns?
Most, all new to me. Marty says Marty's using keywords on PPV. I would say most are probably using URLs just because that's the main method I had taught people in EMP, Lean Thief, and No Excuses. Um, so and I did say, you can use keywords too, and I did have a module on that. But I'd say the majority are probably using URLs at this point. There are a few that are doing keywords though. Like Marty says.
Right. Yep. Yep. Well, and that's the thing, that's the thing I'm seeing for ourselves, I tend to do a mix of both just to see what is working. So what I'm going to do here for those that are here for you, Marty, and who else out there, that want to dig into this, and maybe even using other traffic sources, maybe using Bing or what, the next couple of keyword tools can really give you clear advantages over a lot of other people, right? So I'm going to show you guys 3 keyword tools, which is pretty awesome. Okay, all right. So the first one we're going to dig into is kind of the same as we did for the paid search scraper, but in this case here, it's just for keywords, and it's under the keywords section up here, right? And what we're going to do, we're going to go down to the one called the paid domain keywords. And what this is, I kind of talked a little bit about this a little bit earlier, but it's what this does is basically it's gonna show you the keywords that an advertiser are or have been bidding on Google AdWords, right? So if you go back to let me see, if you go back to the paid search scraper up here, I'm just going to open that new window. Let me plug in and now here, all the results that pops up here, you can go in and spy on each of these URLs, or advertisers as I call them, because they are an advertisers. You're an advertiser the moment you're placing an ad on whatever website, right? Because then you're buying traffic. And if we have identified, or if you have identified one of these to be very relevant for your market, you want to figure out how are they then driving traffic to the website, right? So if you go back to the buy MLM leads that we have identified, that's going to see what is it that these guys really are, where they're getting the traffic from. So again, you can go in and then you can look in other countries. Now, take in mind that if this advertiser here are only bidding in U.S., when you're trying another country, it's not going to show you any keywords, right? So it's only going to show you if there are any data that our toolset can tap into and then pull out and display it here to you guys. So in this case here, we got the buymlleads.com, and if you scroll down, we got 46 keywords that these guys are bidding on or have been bidding on. And what's really cool about this, and I love this, is you can go in here and you can see, okay, so again, take in mind that this is a URL, this is the perfect audience you're looking for, okay? So check out the opportunity leads. All right, so these guys right now are paying close to $22 for a click. Even though the search volume is very low, I mean, 22 bucks for one click. Can you imagine if that would be the impression price for PPV, Matt? I mean, like, you would go bankrupt overnight. You know?
That'd be pretty ridiculous.
It's very ridiculous.
I don't like paying 22 cents per impression.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. But here's the thing, right? Well, so the question is, why does it cost $21? It's close to $22. Why is that, right? It's because it's a money-making keyword, and advertisers want to bid on this one. That means the people that are typing in opportunity leads are actually signing up to whatever product these companies here are presenting to them. So that means that this keyword here is a very highly targeted keyword you want to bid on, right? Because these guys are paying way high prices to be on that, all the way down to like $10. I mean, like all the way down to a couple of dollars. So to just have that in mind, when you use this tool set here, look at the CPC price, right? Look at that and go after the ones that are very high, because you can almost be sure that these guys are only spending that kind of money because these keywords are expected, right? So don't you want to use those for your campaign? So yeah, so basically what you can do here, let's just for the sake of it, let's go in and make the opportunity leads. Okay, all right, so I just want to show you guys here, right? We're not going to go in and click here, then we basically just cost them $22. So if you type it up here, you can see, so who's popping up here? Well, this is the URL of the advertiser that we're investigating right now, right? So these guys are saying, okay, opportunity leads. All right, check out their ad. All right, real-time biz leads. Quality business opportunity leads, 100% replacement, get started now. If you have a product that are offering kind of the same thing, you have an idea here of what type of ad the copy of your ad should be, right? Because these guys are paying a lot of money to be placed here, and you don't want any ads that don't work, right? So you can almost be sure, or you can be sure, that all these ads here has been tested a lot. So just again, another little golden nugget there that you can use this tool to really dig in and see what is other people are doing, and you can go in and bid on the same keywords as them, right? Okay, so if you go in here, what you also can do is you can see there's a little what is it called dig. So we can basically just click on that, and that just means that it's gonna open up another tool set, right? So what we did, we just clicked on this here. So what this means is we're gonna go in and say, okay, so we wanna go after this opportunity leads, and say, okay, that's a really good keyword. Now, what other keywords out there are relevant to this keyword? What other keywords out there that are similar to this one here, right? So again, as Rick he mentioned before, we're gonna tap into targeted research, right? So we know this is already a super targeted keyword, but then we're gonna tap into that further, so we can get even more targeted. So this basically going to lead us over to another tool we have here, which is, let me see here, this is our tool set 5, right? I know it goes a little bit fast here. I just want to make sure that we're going to cover everything, and I don't spend you guys an entire evening, even though I could. I don't want to do that. So we have the tool 5, intelligent tool, the keyword intelligent tool set here. And what this does is, this tool set here is, if you're using the Google Keyword Planner, you might notice kind of the same setup, right? So we have one keyword here, our primary keyword, and then based on that, it's going to show us a list of primary keyword data and related keyword data from more than 25 different countries, right? So you can basically just get a full-on list with related keywords based on the one that we identified to be a really good one, right? So we can go in here, and then we can just keep tapping in, and we can keep digging and digging and digging, and we can see, okay, so what are the C2C prices here? All right, okay. I even think we might even have a record here. So you can see it, the leads CRM. Okay, so these guys are paying $77 per click to build that keyword. That's absurd. It really is. But it got to be a good keyword. Even the buy business leads, CRM, custom leads, and so on and so on and so on, right? So again, you guys can really use these results here to just build out a massive list of super targeted keywords you can use for your PPV campaign, or you can also go in and use it for your Bing campaign, or if you are promoting on Google as well, right? So what we also did out here on the right side, we basically just added a tab for the Google search. If you want to go in and see, okay, so which companies are basically bidding on this keyword right there. So we're going to see here, okay, we got some really, really big CRM systems out there that, of course, can afford paying ridiculous amount of click prices.
Yeah, I lead CRM. I was looking in the top was a Fusionsoft. That's kind of what I figured would be there.
Right. Yep. Yep.
It's
Yep.
like
Exactly.
$77 a click. That's oh my God.
It's intense.
Well, I mean, the cost of those systems are probably make it worth it. So
It is, right? It all comes down to calculation. So, I mean, if it's going to cost you, 5 clicks to get a customer, or 10 clicks to get a customer, but paying, $5,000 a year, it's a pretty good investment.
yeah,
So basically, again, guys, you can see here, you can really dig back and forward, right? So if you remember, when we were looking at one of our past tools, right? If you remember, so if you go back to organic competition and we type in the here, remember I said on the right side we have the AdWords keyword. So not only is this going to show us all the organic competitors that are out there related to our main URL, well, at the same time, we can also see which of those are actually spending money on Google AdWords or have been spending money on Google AdWords. So if you have identified one of these from this tool here to be relevant for your campaign, I'm just looking for one here that will be relevant. Then you can take that and you can plug it into this tool here. All right, let's just take the entrepreneur, even though it's not really, it's way too broad. Let's just take that. We go back to our paid domain keywords, right? All right, go back to that. And then we can plug that in here. So we can see entrepreneur right now. They have been bidding on transgender man to woman. Interesting. So they're bidding on. Yeah, very interesting. Kind of odd, but anyway. So you can see how I'm compiling like the different tool sets, right? You can go back and forward, where you can just keep digging further and further, right? So just to sum this up here, we do have one keyword tool that I want you to look into, right? So if you just go back to the buy here, just so we can keep it within that, and we can say, okay, so which of these keywords are really relevant for us? Let's say we want to go with the opportunity leads, which went for close to $22 per click on Google AdWords, right? All right, let me see here. Then what I want you to do is click on the one called the phrase match keywords, right? And basically what this does is this one's going to give you results that are only surrounded around that one keyword, right? So instead of the other one here, the other tool set here is going to give you, oh, now I'm like all over the place. Instead of this, it's going to give you, sorry guys, let's see, this one here, right? Hope I'm not confused. Instead of this keyword intelligence, it's going to give you a lot of like related keywords that can be a little bit left and right, but it's still related. The phrase match keyword is going to give you a result that is only based on this exact match right here, right? So opportunity lead is going to be business opportunity leads, free business opportunity leads, home-based business opportunity leads, business opportunity lead, opportunity seeker lead. So you can see it's a lot of different, it's a few different variations just based on that one main keyword. So if you have identified one keyword to be the one that you want to go after, or let's even say on your campaign, you're going to be like, man, this keyword here, I'm getting crazy low click prices, and I'm getting like ton of signups. I want to go in and add more into that. Go back into this keyword tool here. You're going to plug this one in here, and then you can get variations. You can get phrase match variations of that keyword in different So you can really dig deep, and I can tell you when you do this, you're going to tap into a lot of keywords that are very low competition on, and you're going to get it done, right? So that's why, even though most people are bidding on URLs, and a lot of people say, man, when you're bidding on keywords, you're spending a lot of your money and all these things. Yes, that's right. The reason for that is because you're not digging deep enough, right? So if you just make sure that you understand which keywords to bid on that are the right one, used by the right audience you're going after, you will see a lot of results. If you want to see better results than URLs, well, that's only testing that will show that, right? But I mean, like, I encourage you to test it out, because if not, you might lose out of a lot of lead sales. Okay. All right. Do you guys have any questions so far?
We had one from Steve. He said, "Did I miss how you use keywords?" Steve, you can insert keywords into your PPV campaigns instead of URLs. A lot of times they won't be quite as targeted. However, I do have, if you have Lead Thief, I do have a module in that on it.
Okay, cool.
And he also, then a follow-up is, do you ask keywords to find more URLs, or do you plug the keywords directly into PPV? The answer is both.
Yep. Perfect. All right, cool. Do you guys get some value out of this? Do you like what you see? Yeah. All right.
Yes.
Cool.
Yep. They are.
Yep. Awesome. All right. So, I got one more tool to go, and then after that, I actually got three left. But the last one is when you have already ran your campaign for a bit and you already got some results, right? Then you're going to see, okay, so now I got some results. I know which URLs are actually giving me some good clicks, that are giving me leads. How can I go and optimize things, right? How do you use that? How do you use the AEA Tools to optimize your campaign? I just show you guys just a few cool, what do you call, like ninja tricks, underground tricks, or whatever you want to call it, right? But there's definitely some cool tricks that can raise your bottom line drastically. All right. Yeah, and I know it's a bit over here. I mean, like, it's a lot, right? And just take one tool at a time, take one step at a time. Here, we're going to stay around. We do have an offer for you where you can go in and you can try it out, right? Take one tool at a time. Go back and check out the webinar and see what it is I'm doing, and don't jump into all tools right away. Yes, it can be a little bit overwhelmed, but trust me, when you get into it, it's love your entire life. So there is a big light in the end. Right, Matt?
Yeah, exactly, man.
Yeah, that's good. All right, cool. Okay, so just a quick little thing here. When I went on Google here before, how do I remove this one here? Okay, there we go. I even said that you can go on Google and then you can spy on your competitors, and you can kind of get an idea of what they are using of copy they can use on your landing page. And what I like about Google is because people are forced to come up with the best ads possible with very little words, right? So it's not you really don't have much space. So you got to be very focused, and you got to understand what kind of language you're using when you want success with Google, so you can be very sure that the ads that pops up here that that they're paying a lot of money for are working out, right? So we do have, instead of going on Google, we actually do have a tool in here that can give you that insight as well. So I just want to show you guys how that works. So we got the advertise display ads up here, right? And it's under the tools, right? And if you notice, like every time I go up here, there's a bunch of tools here. So I mean, that's a lot, right? And really don't need much else than this when you get into it. So anyway, let's go back to our buy MLM leads, because we know that these guys are spending money today on Google, right? So that's going to see what kind of ads have these guys been using, or what kind of ads are these guys using today. Because right now, if you go on Google, you're kind of limited. You only see one ad from this company, right? So maybe they're using other ads. Maybe they have been using other ads in the past, but you're not able to find that information until now, right? So what we do here, we're just going to click it in here with a single click. I'll let it run here for a couple seconds. And then what we see now is a simple overview, same overview as you've seen on some of the other tools here. We can go up and see here, we got the title of the ad, right? We got the ad text here. You can see when got this seen the first time, when is the last time it got seen, time scenes, and so on, right? So basically what we can go in and do is we can go in and see, okay, so we can either sort this by time seen or last seen. I like to sort it by last seen, right? And right now we can go in and see, okay, so our system here went in and grabbed this ad right here, and this ad right here is a little bit different than real-time biz up leads. Real-time biz up leads, and we don't have that in here yet. Okay, all right. So we can see this one here. Last time it got shown was July 28th, right? And this ad here got shown 537 times approximately, right? So these numbers are pretty accurate, but it might be a little bit higher, or maybe a little bit lower. But you can estimate that this is very accurate at what you're seeing here. So we know now that this company here use this ad copy here, right? So if you have identified this to be the perfect match for your market, well, go in and use some of this verbal here, right? Because this company here, they spent their money to figure out what are working for them, right? So build on other people's successes, right? So don't reinvent the wheel yourself. Don't copy exactly what they're doing. Don't do that, right? But go in and use it as an inspiration to come up with killer ads for yourself, knowingly that the stuff you come up with comes from stuff that's already tested by other companies. So you're just using other companies' money to your own advantage. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's going to save you a lot of money, right? So
can you try one? I'm not sure. Oh shoot, it's not. No, you know what? It's not going to come up because I just noticed its website. Never mind. I had an idea and it's not.
All right, no worries. Let's try. Well, hey, ideas come and go, right? So yeah, we got the ops seekers. I remember this from earlier. Let's just try this out and see if they have been running any Google ads here. Nope, no, nothing there. Okay, so so if you're into dating, for example, right? Just quickly take that. Zeus.com is this huge dating company. You know, we work with them through NAM offers, and I mean, like, they've been around forever. So you can see here, for example, one of their ads has been shown 46,000 times, and last time it got shown was in the middle of July. Do you think this title here, this ad copy, would work for them since it's been shown that many times? I'm pretty positive, right? So, I mean, again, you can use this for any niche, and it's just going to feed you with a lot of really cool ideas. So I mean, like, for those that want to go in and test it out, use this tool, right? Use this tool. I mean, you're going to save so much time. I mean, like, when I saw this tool the first time, I was like, all right, well, now I don't need to, be creative myself. I can go through this. What I do, I take all this and I download it, print it out, and then I go out my big whiteboard, and then I just start brainstorming on ideas. So I can just type out, and then when an hour later, I got so many different ads that I can spit this with, and then quickly I'm going to find my winning ad. So I mean, it's awesome. Okay, alrighty. Okay, so guys, last section here for tonight. Thank you so much for staying around. I know it's been a lot of information that's been pouring over you, and hopefully you've been taking a lot of very good notes, and you're excited as I am. I always get very excited going through this, even though, we're having these tools for a long time, using them daily. It's just awesome when you can, use the technology today to be a little bit lazier. You don't have to spend so much time on things. All right, so let's pretend that you guys have been running your campaign, for a week or how long, and you say, okay, I found a couple of keywords and URLs that are working great, getting a lot of clicks and getting a lot of signups. So what you want to think about is saying, okay, so this URL keyword or this URL here, well, it's working because it got the right audience, right? So every time someone goes into that URL, you're serving your ad in front of the site, and then the users see your ad and they say, wow, this is kind of what I'm looking for. They're going to opt in. Okay, so the question is now, how do you go out and find more of that audience, right? So how would you go out and find more of that audience? And maybe if any of you guys dang to step out here, how would you go out and find more of that audience? When you have a URL, what would you do? If you see a URL giving you results, how would you then find more URLs that are similar to that or more of that audience? If you've got some time, put it into the questionnaire. I'd just love to see some, to see what you guys would do or what you're doing today. So while you're doing that, let me also ask you another thing. How many of you guys in here know what Google AdSense is all about? How many in here do you know what Google AdSense is all about, right? So if the reason why I'm bringing that up, I'm going to get to in here just a second, but if you go on Google and just type in what is Google AdSense, basically Google is going to come out and say Google AdSense is a program run by Google that allows publishers in the Google network of content sites to serve automatic text, images, videos, or interactive media advertising that are targeted to site content and audience. And it basically means that as an advertiser, what you can do, you can upload your campaign, and then Google are going to go in and find websites out there in their network that are related to your product, right? So when they display your banner ad, like a 300 times 250 ad, and they display your ad on all these different websites, some websites, the ad's going to get more clicks from, right? And then you're going to start optimizing your campaign and see, okay, so these websites over here I'm getting more clicks from. Well, I want to expose my ad more on those websites, because those clicks are going to turn into leads, and those leads are going to turn into sales. So what does that mean? Well, that means that website where you're getting clicks, leads, and sales from has the audience that you're looking for your product, right? So just to give you an idea, if you go on a website here called the CNET.com news, actually earlier before I went on here at the webinar, I went into a website here. It's a new website that they, they have like an AI intelligence that can build, websites automatic. And then I went into CNET, and then bam, they're retargeting me, right? But so these websites are able to retarget me through actually Google AdSense. Google AdSense also serve retargeting as well. So then if I'm visiting this website every day and I see an ad that I like, well, then I click on it, I end up buying it. Then this company here want to keep serving their ad on this specific website because they know this website here got the audience they're looking for, right? So let me ask you this. Wouldn't it be cool if you could go in and then say, oh, man, what if I could go in and see all the websites of this advertiser right here that where that ad, that showed the websites where their ads got served the most. Because if you think about it, the websites where the ads got served the most means that those websites got the audience that they're looking for, right? So if you could take those and plug into your campaign. So if you find one advertiser that you have identified to be the ideal one, and if you know that advertiser have been running Google AdSense, now you can tap into all the websites where their banner was served at, the most. Now you can basically tap into an unlimited amount of exact match of audience for your campaign. And you do that, well, then you're just going to get even more of the same audience that you're already seeing working for your campaign instantly, right? So, and one of the ways that we came up with is like, okay, how can we do that? Well, a simple way is to tap into Google's API, right? And then we basically just said, okay, we want to see which the Google AdSense publishers has been served the most on specific advertisers. So let's go back here and say buy MLM leads, which we know was identified as being one of our targets. Now we could go in and see, okay, so buy MLM leads have served, these web publishers here have served this advertiser's banners for X time. So businessforhome.org, 871 times. Okay, so if you're into MLM here, we know that this right here that we identified to be very targeted, and we also knew after we drew traffic to our campaign for a week, we knew that this, we could see this one here is giving us leads like bam, bam, every day in sales. I'm like, man, we need more of this audience. Where is it? Right here, right? 27 targets right there. Download, check all, download first all, bam, right here, okay? Like that. Then you can take these, upload into a campaign, and then you basically just optimize your campaign. You got even more targets of based on what is already working for you today, right? Very cool and super effective, very, very effective. Matt, have you been using this tool here?
Honestly, well, yeah, no, actually, no.
No?
I've only been using the, I like it though. I like what I see. It's one of the ones that I really haven't tried out a whole lot. I've been only using the PPC ads. I haven't
Okay,
used the
cool.
ads on Scraper.
Nice, nice, yeah. But I mean, like, use it because it's great.
Yeah.
It's just one of those secret weapons, right? And people are like, how do you even manage to do this? I'm like, well, you know, I got my method, so here's the method.
Yeah, guys, I'm gonna need to start using that one too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And let me know how it goes.
It's kind of a testament to everything that's in here because it's just there's certain things I haven't even scratched the surface on with a couple of your scrapers yet. This is one of them.
Right. Yep. And again, we basically showcasing 10 tools, right? So and that's a lot of other ones. That's what's cool is AEA Tools kind of adapt to how you want to use it, right? And based on us using all the tools, we found that these 10 tools here is just super effective. All right, guys. So I got two left, right? So these last two here is awesome because, as you, Matt, just said in the beginning, you know, there's more you know, coaches out there and trainers and companies like network marketing companies and traffic courses that are teaching PPV, and the average PPV price are going up, right? So it's not enough anymore just to do the minimum bid. You want to up your bid to get some traffic. Now, what's cool is, you know, I always like to pay as less as possible while I'm still tapping into some of the most competitive URLs, keywords for PPV, and still only pay a couple cents. And I'm sure that you guys want to know how you can do that as well. So when it comes to, and what I'm showing you now is, it depends on what PPV network you're using, because it's not all networks that accept variations of your keywords and your URL, right? So again, test it out. I would say overall, in average, maybe between 10 to max 20%, maybe even 15%, 10 to 15% of these variations that I'm going to show you will typically be accepted of PPV network. But that just means that you can get an additional 10 to 15 extra keywords in a high competitive market where you're paying close to nothing to yeah.
Yeah, these usually work best on lead impact and traffic advance, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, so the ones you want to look into is the URL modifier. You find it under the tools here, right? So the URL modifier and then the keyword modifier. So let's just start with the URL modifier. So basically what this does is, so by so basically what this does is just give you a ton of different variations, right? So you can see here lead impact variations. So you can click on this. So if you're promoting on lead impact, you can put in the URL that you have identified to be successful for your campaign, right? So now you can go in and say, okay, now we're going to get a couple of variations here. Well, it actually didn't give you much variation, right? So instead you only have 2 variations. What we did here, we just added in a bunch of other variations. So what you want to do when you come in here, just click on the all of the above and more, because then it's just going to give you all the different variations you can get off the URL, and then you're just going to click submit. So you can see here, now it's just going to give you a ton of different variations. It's like .buyandunleash.com. It's saying, .com with a /. You can go further down here, say w.buyandunleash.com. And I mean, in many cases, let's say if this URL here is just too expensive for you, well, then in many cases I found if you're bidding on that variation right there, you're still getting quite a lot of traffic, but maybe that variation right there is actually giving you much, even more leads than the other one, and it's only going to pay like a fraction of the cost. And the reason for that is because there's less competition on that variation, because it's not everyone that thinks about creating a variation that looks like that, right? And that's the trick is all these different variations. When people type in, they're in a hurry, they like W, and they forget to type www, right? And then you can capture them on that variation, all right? So you basically can use this when you're optimizing your campaign. You can also use it when you're just starting out, but I tend to just use this when I'm optimizing my campaign, because I want to go in and I want to squeeze as much traffic I can as possible out of the URLs and keywords that I can see are performing, right? So I really just want to spread out there with a lot of different areas, like with a lot of keywords and URLs. Of course, target into my area, but then when I see what is working, I wanna squeeze more of the traffic out of those, right? And then we look at the keyword modifier here. Works the same. I'm just gonna type it in like that. So there was keyword, and you can see here it's giving us all these different variations down here, right? And if you're targeting UK, we got a lot of .co here, right? .co.uk that you can plug into as well. So I mean, you can get a ton of different variations really fast. And again, about 10 to 15% of those are going to be approved in your PPV network, but those are actually going to give you a lot of additional, not a lot, but it's going to give you additional traffic, which is just going to give you leads, right? Because PPV, you don't need so much traffic to get leads. You just need the right keywords or targets that have been sent to a lander that are speaking the right language for your target audience. You know what? Let me just do one last one here, because I'm in a good mood. So, talked about before, we just want to squeeze as much traffic out as possible. We also have the one called the index scraper, and you can go on Google, and then I believe you can type like this, right? And then when you type in this, it's basically just going to give you all the index size of one URL. So if you have identified one site to be work for you, so you go on here and see, okay, buyandunleash.com/leads, right? So boom, another target you can bid into. And again, the competition on this might be very much lower than people just bidding on the main one, right? So here You can go in, you can bid, and you can get much lower impression prices than the main one. And instead of going on Google, we just type in here. You can just click that in here, whatever country. Weird. Man, the grand finale, and then it doesn't work.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Maybe it works out now. Let's see here. Okay. All right. So anyway, while it basically stand there and load. So guys, I hope that you've been taking a lot of notes this evening and you got a lot of value out of this. Of course, no, it's not showing me any result. That was, I'm not quite sure why. Let's just click at the 50flowers.com. All right, so just to give you an example here, it's going to show you all index pages of that site that you're going after, right? So again, just another way how you squeeze the traffic out of the winning URLs that you find. So as I was saying, hope you guys have been enjoying your time on this webinar. I think we've been going for an hour and 15 minutes. You guys enjoyed yourself? You like the tools? You like what you see?
Tons of value, Fred and Matt. Thank you, Marty. I appreciate that.
That's awesome. Good stuff. So, very cool. All right, good stuff. I'm glad you guys like the tools, and hope you can see how you can save a lot of time and be more effective when it comes to your promotions online, right? It's all about saving time, money loves speed, and all that jazz. So, Matt, should I give it like a URL and talk a little bit about the offer, or do you want to go in and talk about that?
Yeah. So I'll let you talk about the offer, but let me just preface it first because we had offered this before, and we offered it kind of a limited time thing, and you guys really we got such impressive results from it, and we had left this offer up for a certain amount of time after the first webinar we did. And we decided to make it a limited time thing, and I've got so many people asking me, hey, can we still get in on this? Hey, can we still get in on this? I'm like, well, guys, let me see. We gotta talk to AEA Tools, and they were great, absolutely gracious enough to be willing to open this offer back up to everybody right now. So we've got it open. Right now, we don't have a close date. We may leave it open indefinitely. We don't know exactly, because we haven't talked about it yet. But the offer that you guys, if you remember it before, it's going to be given to you now. And for those of you that don't know, Fred, tell them a little bit about it.
All right, cool. And as you know, here at the AEA Tools, we love Matt and the whole gang, and we want to make sure that you guys get as much value as Matt and ourselves are doing out of these tools. So for these kickstart things, we want to make sure you guys get a really good deal for those of you guys that want to get into this, right? So basically what we're doing with the AEA Tools here is we're offering, as we do to everyone, we're offering like a 7-day free trial where you get free access to use all our tools. And what I haven't shown you guys is besides all our keyword and URL tools, we also have like landing page builders. You can even go in and you can build like cartoon ad builders in our ad builder. So there's a lot of other functionalities that I really haven't showed you guys yet that I definitely encourage you to do. You can use it for Facebook as well. You can build like a newsfeed ad pretty fast with all our emotions, all our icons and different images that we have in there. And for each tool, there's like a little button here, video, that will just quickly explain you how to use that tool. We also have on the library up here. We do have tutorials, and we do have a couple of action plans and downloads that you guys can go in and check out. And we do have like a help section as well. Now, obviously, we do have all our support. So just to show you guys the normal price that we have here is, it's normally is $37 a month, and you can get in for 6 months, which is like $199 every 6 months, and then we basically going to offer like a 1 year for $299, and that's what the prices we have on public today. But for you guys, if you go into this URL right here called namoffers.com/AEA Tools /special offer, right? So it's namoffers.com/AEA Tools /special offer. If you type that in.
And I will type it in the answer box here too.
All right, cool. So when you do that, this
wait. Go back.
Okay. All right. Yep,
I'm typing it in. There we go. All right, we're good.
Perfect. Okay, awesome. All right, so basically what we've done here is we're going to give you guys like 55% on AEA Tools if you get in on a yearly package. So you basically get in, you can get access to a full year, 12 months for $197, right? So you go in here, you get a free trial in 7 days, and after that, it's going to rebuild to $197. If for whatever reason you say, hey, this is not for me, I'm not getting any value, what Fred and Matt have talked about the past hour doesn't even fit what I'm finding in the tool set, let us know so we can go and figure out why that is. And if you still want to cancel, of course, you're going to do that anytime you want, right? But I mean, $197 for 1 year, you can going to use it as much as you want. PPV for PPC, Facebook, whatever you want. We're constantly updating our backend with new tools. If you have any suggestions for new tools that you'd like to see, let us know. Actually, almost like all our tools in here comes from tools that we want to build for ourselves, but also suggestions from our members. Say, hey, aren't you guys able to do this? And then we basically build it out. So, I mean, it's an ongoing process. So if you want to get in today or tomorrow or on Friday or whenever, it's $197, 7 days free trial. And that was on the namoffers.com/AEA Tools /special offer. And obviously, if people got any questions, I'm always around to help you out. I'm an affiliate myself, and we do help a lot of other affiliates. We run an affiliate network, so we do have a lot of insight that we can share.
Yes.
With. Yep.
So I just want to comment on that and say there's a tool called Scrape out there, which some of our members have been using, and it's like $9.99 a month or $8.99 a month. For pretty much, well, I think it comes out to like $16 a month. If you take advantage of the special offer, you get what you would have gotten in Scrape and so much more. It's insane the value you guys are getting in this deal. And if you're serious about PPV, I would say jump on it, because it's something you have to spend a little bit of time on. You have to dedicate yourself to it, but it saves you so much time, and it allows you to get those URLs that a lot of people, you're not going to find. It would normally take you hours and hours of just research by hand, looking for them by hand. So I think the money is worth it. I mean, there's no other. I mean, there's a few other tools out there like it, but you're not going to get a deal like this on any one of the other stuff. And quite frankly, they're a lot more expensive than the regular price as it is. So I say jump on it if you want to dedicate yourself to PPV. It's definitely worth it, and it's probably something that you're going to end up saving yourself, recovering the cost of it. And I would say maybe a month, even less. I mean, depending on how aggressive you get with PPV. So it's pretty crazy.
Yep, exactly. So yeah, man. I mean, like again, we're here to help you guys out in any way we can. And if you like what you're seeing, I mean, I encourage you to do it, and at least go in and take the 7-day free trial. You really have nothing to lose. So yeah, man, I basically have don't have anything else for this evening. Just saying again, thanks so much for getting me on this webinar. I love the work you do, and I'm always excited to see what you have up in your sleeve next time.
Yeah, absolutely. And you provided so much value today on this webinar, just showing us how these different things work, and it's going to provide an excellent reference point for people using this in the future. So a couple people have asked in the Facebook groups and tonight as well if there will be a replay. Yes, there will be a replay. Once we process the video, I'll upload it and we'll get it out to you guys. Maybe not tonight, but probably tomorrow at the very latest. So,
Yep.
And what I'll do is I'll make sure it gets posted to the NES group or the PPV group. And then if you're a member of the Lead Thief course, if you've bought that, it will also become a module in Lead Thief. I'm not exactly sure which one yet, but it will be. So you'll have access to it either which way, no matter where you are or where you're attending this webinar from.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, good stuff, Matt. And again, thanks everybody for staying with us here for close to 90 minutes. Appreciate every one of you, and have a fantastic summer, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Awesome. Take care, everybody.
All righty, bye-bye.